Unit 200. Revision. Okay, listen to the text. We shall read it, and then we have a few questions. At 10 p.m. last night, Freddy said goodnight to his wife. She was reading a magazine. He went to bed. Tomorrow was a big day. It was his last day of work. 35 years with the federal government. 35 years of flying out of town for weeks on end. 35 years of interviews, meetings, and heavy briefcases. Tomorrow it would all be over. Not that he didn't like it. He had enjoyed his career. Freddy felt blessed. His father had had a hard life as an unskilled laborer. Whenever Freddy was a bit discouraged or upset, he thought about his overworked and underpaid father. He thanked God for his own good life and for the fact that he had been able to make his dad's last years comfortable. His two children were married and had their own careers. His wife Anne kept busy with, among other things, her bridge club. She had tried to get him interested in bridge, but without success. Freddy was content with his own Friday night poker group. Friday morning he went to work for the very last time. Those who knew him well would miss him. Freddy was a genuinely nice guy. He never had a bad word to say about anyone. Some people might have thought he was a little dull, but he was intelligent, a hard worker, and a team player. He had taken only 3 weeks of sick leave in 30 years. A small group took him out for lunch. When he returned from lunch, the whole office gathered around for cake, ice cream, a farewell card, and a few short speeches. They presented him with various going-away gifts, including a big paperback European atlas. It listed all the motels, campgrounds, national parks, tourist spots, and other information to help guide a leisurely traveler throughout the good old Europe. He had told his friends that he and Anne were going to spend a couple of years visiting all the places they had never had time to explore. As a final gift, his supervisor told him to take the rest of the day off. Anne's car wasn't in the driveway when he got home. She was probably shopping for some traveling clothes. Maybe she was out arranging dinner at a restaurant that evening for just the two of them. That would be nice. But something was wrong. When he hung up his jacket, he saw that the bedroom closet was half empty. Anne's clothes were gone. Her shoes were not on the closet floor. Confused, he looked around the bedroom. He saw an envelope on the lampstand. Inside it were folded 2 pieces of paper. One notified him of a divorce proceeding. The other was a handwritten note from Anne. "I'm sorry," it began. She said that her lawyer had told her to wait until today. If she had sought divorce a year earlier, like her boyfriend had suggested, she would not have been able to qualify for 50% of Freddy's pension. She hoped that he would find it in his heart to forgive her. She felt terrible about this, she wrote, because you've been so good to me. But I can't ignore my own heart. Freddy sat immobile on the edge of the bed. Her note was in his hand. Her words were burning in his brain. Maybe an hour later, the phone rang. He picked it up on the 5th ring. It was Nick, wondering if Freddy was going to play poker later that night. Now, we have a few questions. Number 1. What happened at 10 p.m. last night? Okay. He said good night to his wife and he went to bed. 2. How long had he worked for the federal government? 35 years. He had worked 35 years for the federal government. What would happen tomorrow? What would happen the next day? Well, the next day was his last day of work. 4. Why did Freddy feel blessed? Okay, he liked his job. Okay, and in fact, he had enjoyed his career. And he felt blessed because his father had a life as an unskilled laborer. Yes, and whenever he was kind of upset, he thought about him. Yes, he thanked God for his own good life and for the fact that he had been able to make his dad's last years comfortable. Well, question 5. What do you know about Freddy's wife and kids? Okay, looking here. So, he had 2 kids, 2 children, they were married, they had their own careers. His wife, well, she kept busy with, among other things, her bridge club. Yes? 6. What was Freddy's hobby? He liked playing poker with his friends. Yes? So, question 7. What did he do on his last work day? Well, he went to work for the very last time. Yes? He went to lunch with a few of his colleagues. When they returned, well, the whole office gathered around for cake, ice cream, a farewell card. Yes? Question 8. What gifts was he given? Well, do you remember? So, they presented him with various going-away gifts, including a big paperback European atlas. It listed all the motels, campgrounds, national parks, tourist spots, and other information to help guide the leisurely traveler throughout the good old Europe. Okay, so question 9. What did he think when he didn't see his wife's car in the driveway? Well, Anne's car wasn't in the driveway, and he thought that, what? She had gone shopping or something, yes? Maybe she was out arranging dinner at a restaurant or something. Okay. And he thought that it would be nice. Well, question 10. How did he know something was wrong? Well, he entered his house. Yes. He hung up his jacket. He saw that the bedroom closet was half empty. Her clothes were gone. Her shoes weren't there. So, something was wrong. 11. What was Anne's note about? And he looked around and he saw an envelope, okay, on the lampstand. Okay, it was folded 2 pieces of paper. One notified him of a divorce proceeding. The other was a handwritten note from Anne, okay, which read, "I'm so sorry." Yes? And she explained that if she had sought divorce a year earlier, okay, she would not have been able to qualify for 50% of his pension. Okay. Question 12. How do you think Freddy felt? Definitely, he felt terrible. He didn't expect that. It was a surprise, a bad one. And the description that we have is really great. He sat immobile on the edge of the bed. Her note was in his hand, burning in his brain. Yes. Okay, good. Let's go on. Now we have a few questions on the text, so we have to answer true or false. The first one, he had a decent state job. What do you think? He worked for the federal government, yes? And actually he worked for 35 years. So definitely yes, the answer is true. Question 2. Freddie didn't look extremely intelligent, which means what? In the text it was said that he looked a bit dull. So I would say true. But he was intelligent, yes? Question 3. Someone had robbed his house. Well, what do you think here? Quite clear. False. What happened actually? Okay? His wife dumped him. Yes, she left. Question 4. His wife was kidnapped. Definitely false, we just answered. Okay. She dumped him. Okay. Okay, 5. His wife was entitled to receive his pension. Okay, number 5, definitely false. Why? She was going to qualify for 50% of his pension. Okay. But she wasn't entitled to receive his pension at that time. Okay, good. Let's go on. Now, this is our next exercise, match the columns. Okay, we have some grammar definitions, and let's have a look. Okay, the first one, the first sentence, she was reading a magazine. Compound adjective, past simple tense, reported speech, deduction about the past passive voice, past perfect tense, past progressive tense. Definitely G, past progressive. She was reading a magazine. Yes. 2. He had enjoyed his career. Okay. Past perfect tense. Okay. F, past perfect tense. 3. He thanked God for his own good life. Okay. He thanked God for his own good life. The past simple, yes. B. 4. Some people might have thought he was a little dull. Okay. Deduction about the past. Okay. Something that we have studied. Okay, using the modal verbs like could, might, may, must, can't. Okay, to and the perfect infinitive to express a deduction about the past. Okay, so number 4, D. Okay. 5. He had told his friends that he and Anne were going to spend a couple of years visiting all the places that he had never had time to explore. 5. Okay. If we look here, definitely this is reported speech. Yes, he had told his friends that he and Anne were going and so on. Yes. So, reported speech, it is C. 6. The other was a handwritten note from Anne. Okay. Definitely, this is here in this sentence we have a compound adjective, handwritten. Yes, so let's mark A. 7. Inside it were folded 2 pieces of paper. Okay, the passive voice. Okay, good. Passive voice E. 8. Maybe an hour later the phone rang. Okay. Okay, what do we have here? Comparative degree and adjective. We have one left. Yes, comparative degree like later. Okay. Of an adjective. Yes. Okay. So H is the answer here. Well, that's it. Let's go on. Next exercise, match the columns once again. Okay. We have the explanations of the words. The first one, goodbye, good wishes at parting, farewell, I. Number 2, deprived of courage or confidence. What do you think? Discouraged, yes, A. 3, a small room for storing utensils, clothing, etc. Okay. Closet, a really good explanation. C, a softbound book. Okay. What was the word there? Do you remember? Paperback. E. 5, to inform. Okay, to notify. Yes, 5. D. 6, sacred, holy, fortunate. Blessed. Okay. 7, of different kinds. Various. F. 8, incapable of moving. Immobile. G, a governing body of persons. Government. H. 10, a permission to be absent when being ill. Sick leave. You know this word. Yes. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we have an exercise, and now question 1. We won't be able to finish without Meg's help. Yes, she should have been here an hour ago. Should not she, shouldn't she, has not she, hasn't she. Which is the right answer? Shouldn't she? Okay, we have a tag question, yes? She should have been here an hour ago. Shouldn't she? Question 2. In the last lesson, the students to bring their projects to class. Okay. In the last lesson, the students what? Were told. They were told. Passive voice. Okay. 3. James arrives home, call me. What can we say here? Okay. As soon as James arrives home, call me. Okay, going on. Question 4. Do you think Ryan is a good driver? Okay, no, he is driver than his brother. A more careless, the much careless, the most careless, a most careless. What can we say here? A more careless driver than his brother. Comparative degree. Yes? He is a more careless driver than his brother. Question 5. The teacher told the students at each other's exam papers. Not looking, not look, not to look, don't look. Okay? The teacher told the students not to look. Okay? Not to look at each other's exam papers. Yes? Question 6. Very few people, okay, very few people went to see that film. Yes, few. Few is the answer. Okay. I don't know why it's an excellent film, but we say very few people. Обърнете внимание, че very стои винаги с few, little и има негативна идея. 7. From the marks on the door, it was clear that somebody to break in. What can we say? Had tried, has tried, has been trying, had been tried. Well, from the marks on the door, it was clear that somebody had tried. Past perfect tense. It happened before that. Question 8. I do the washing up for you. Yes, thanks. That would save me time. Well, what do you think? Shall I? Shall I do? Shall I do the washing up? Sounds best, okay? Question 9. Could you please buy me, okay, something, butter when you go to the supermarket? Well, some butter, yes. The other options, lots, the, well, doesn't sound good. Okay, some butter sounds best. Question 10. You something see your dentist at least twice a year. You could have or should. You should see. It's a recommendation. You should see your dentist at least twice a year. Well, така, обърнете внимание. Ought се използва с to. Ought to. Yes. Okay, you ought to do something. Question 11. Kathy and Mark went on a trip to Hawaii. Okay, what can we say here? A 3-day trip. Okay, and I want you to pay attention here. We don't have days. Okay, внимание тук, че нямаме S за множествено число. На практика този тип думи играят ролята на прилагателни имена. Okay, a 3-day trip to Hawaii. Question 12. As a child, I much more ice cream than I do now. I used to eat, used to eating, was used to eat, was used to be eating. Well, what can we say here? I used to eat. Okay? Something that happened in the past but not anymore. Yes? Question 13. The plane takes off on time. We won't arrive at 6. Well, the options if, unless, whether, if not. Unless. And once again, I want you to pay attention here. Още веднъж внимание по отношение употребата на unless, думичка с негативен контекст. unless the plane takes off. Което на практика значи if the plane doesn't take off. Yes. Unless the plane takes off on time, we won't arrive at 6. Ако самолетът не излети. 14. You should get an umbrella, it trains, in case, unless, because, S. Okay. In case it rains. I think it's quite clear here, yes? You should get an umbrella in case it rains. Looking at question 15, answer the phone for me. Do you, shall you, want you, will you? Okay. What can we say? Okay. Will ya? Will is the best answer here. Така. Обърнете внимание, че използваме question tag с заповедни форми и когато става дума за покани, want ya стои изключително добре. Например, have a seat, want ya. Що се отнася до заповедни форми в този смисъл, заповеди, answer the phone for me, will ya? Okay? Звучи изключително добре. Quite friendly and polite. Okay? Also we can use here can ya, would ya? Yes? Okay? Okay, question 16. Tomorrow she leaving Russia. Well, is going to, will, can, will be. What can we say here? She will be leaving. Tomorrow she will be leaving. Okay. She will be leaving Russia. Question 17. By 5 o'clock he has reached, is reaching, will have reached, will be reaching. By 5 he will have reached. Okay. Future perfect tense. Question 18. The man said he didn't to walk. Well, what can we say? Okay, what do you think? He didn't mind having to walk. Okay. The man said he didn't mind having to walk. And question 19, he didn't come home last night. Okay. I wish, what? I wish he had. Yes? It's like a wishes about the past. I wish he had come. Yes? I wish he had. Обърнете внимание, употребата само на спомагателни глаголи доста често използваме при избягване на повторение на глаголи, които вече са споменати. Question 20. I traveling by tube. I'm not used to. Do not used to. Didn't used to. Used to. What can we say here? I'm not used to traveling. Внимание върху фразите be used to, get used to. След тях имаме съществително име или инк форми на глагол. Okay, that's it.